The Volkswagen Scirocco isn't just a car. It's a statement. It's the kind of car that makes people look twice, even if they're not car enthusiasts. The Scirocco stands out in Volkswagen's lineup. Sleeker than the Golf, sportier than the Jetta, and with a personality all its own. Why does it matter? Because the Scirocco is more than just a coupe. It's a symbol of Volkswagen's willingness to take risks. It's about style, speed, and fun, all wrapped up in a package that's still practical enough for daily driving. That's a rare combination. Over the decades, the Scirocco has built a loyal following. Fans love its sharp looks, nimble handling, and the way it makes even a trip to the grocery store feel a little more exciting. The Scirocco is the kind of car that creates memories. In this essay, we'll explore the entire history of the Scirocco. We'll look at every generation, dig into what made each one special, and discover why this coupe still captures hearts today. The 1970s were a turning point for Volkswagen. The Beetle had been a huge success, but by the early 70s, it was starting to show its age. People wanted something new. They wanted style, performance, and modern features. Volkswagen needed to adapt or risk falling behind. That's where the Scirocco comes in. Volkswagen wanted a car that would appeal to young drivers, something sporty but still affordable. The company turned to the legendary Italian designer Giorgetto Giugiaro, who had already made a name for himself with sleek, modern car designs. The result was a car that looked nothing like the Beetle, and that was exactly the point. The Scirocco was built on the same platform as the Golf, which was revolutionary at the time. Front-wheel drive, water-cooled engines, and a hatchback body made it practical, but the low, sloping roof and sharp lines made it look fast, even when it was parked. Volkswagen was betting that style and practicality could go hand in hand. It was a gamble, but it paid off. The Scirocco was an instant hit, setting the stage for a whole new era at Volkswagen. It showed that the brand could do more than just quirky economy cars. It could build something truly exciting. The first-generation Scirocco hit the market in 1974. Right away, it turned heads. The design was crisp and angular, with a wedge-shaped profile that screamed 70s cool. It was lower and lighter than the Golf, and it looked like nothing else on the road. Inside, the Scirocco was surprisingly practical. The hatchback design meant you could fold the rear seats and haul a surprising amount of stuff. But it was the driving experience that really set it apart. The Scirocco was nimble and responsive, with sharp steering and a lively feel. It wasn't the fastest car, but it was fun, really fun. Volkswagen offered a range of engines, from economical 4-cylinders to sportier variants like the Scirocco GTI and GLI. These models added more power, sportier suspension, and unique trim. The Scirocco quickly became a favorite among young drivers and car enthusiasts alike. It was affordable and stylish, and just a little bit rebellious. The first-gen Scirocco proved that Volkswagen could make a car that was both practical and exciting. It set the tone for everything that would come after, and it's still beloved by collectors today. By the early 1980s, it was time for a new Scirocco. The second generation arrived in 1981, and it brought some big changes. The design was still sharp, but it was a little softer and more aerodynamic. The car was longer and wider, with more space inside for passengers and cargo. Volkswagen didn't just make the Scirocco bigger, they made it better. The new model got more powerful engines, better suspension, and improved safety features. The Scirocco 16V, introduced in the mid-80s, was especially exciting. It packed a high-revving twin-cam engine that made it one of the hottest hatchbacks of its day. The second-gen Scirocco was also more refined. It had better soundproofing, more comfortable seats, and a higher quality interior. But it didn't lose its sporty edge. Drivers loved the way it handled twisty roads, and it quickly found a home in rally racing and amateur motorsports. This generation stuck around for over a decade. It was a testament to the design's staying power and the car's enduring popularity. For many fans, the second-gen Scirocco is the ultimate version. Fast, fun, and just a little bit wild. After 1992, the Scirocco disappeared from Volkswagen's lineup. It was replaced by the Corrado, which was, a more expensive and complex coupe. The Corrado had its fans, but honestly, it never quite captured the same magic as the Scirocco. For a while, it really seemed like the Scirocco story was over. But the car's legacy, well, it lived on. Enthusiasts kept their old Sciroccos running, organizing clubs, meets and rallies all over Europe and beyond. The Scirocco became a cult classic, with prices for clean examples starting to climb. People just missed its simple, honest charm. During this time, Volkswagen changed a lot. The brand focused more on family cars, SUVs, and luxury features. But the memory of the Scirocco, it never faded. Fans kept asking, would Volkswagen ever bring it back? The hiatus made the Scirocco even more legendary. It became a symbol of a different era, one where cars were lighter, simpler, and more connected to the driver. After a long wait, Volkswagen finally brought the Scirocco back in 2008. The third generation was modern, sleek, and instantly recognizable as a Scirocco. It had a wide, aggressive stance and a low roofline that looked ready for the Autobahn. Under the skin, the new Scirocco was based on the Golf, but it felt totally different. Turbocharged engines gave it real power, and the chassis was tuned for sharp, sporty handling. Inside, it was comfortable and high-tech, with features like touchscreen infotainment and advanced safety systems. The third-gen Scirocco was a hit with both old fans and new buyers. It looked great, drove even better, and offered a unique alternative to the usual hot hatchbacks. Special editions, like the Scirocco R, turned up the excitement, with even more power and aggressive styling. Sadly, the third-gen Scirocco was never sold in the United States. But in Europe and other markets, it was a favorite among people who wanted something different, something with real personality. The Scirocco has always inspired passion. Owners form tight-knit communities, sharing tips, stories, and parts. There are Scirocco clubs in nearly every country where the car was sold. Annual meets attract hundreds of cars, from pristine originals to wild, modified builds. One fun fact: the Scirocco gets its name from a Mediterranean wind. Volkswagen has a tradition of naming cars after winds. Think Golf, Passat, Jetta. The name fits. The Scirocco is fast, unpredictable, and a little bit wild. Over the years, the Scirocco has popped up in movies, video games, and pop culture. It's been raced, rallied, and even used as a police car in some countries. Fans love to swap stories about road trips, track days, and the time their Scirocco saved the day in a snowstorm. The Scirocco isn't just a car, it's a lifestyle. It brings people together, sparks conversations, and creates memories that last a lifetime. Even though the Scirocco is no longer in production, its legacy lives on. It showed Volkswagen and the world that sporty, stylish cars could also be practical. It proved that you didn't need a huge engine or a massive price tag to have fun behind the wheel. For many enthusiasts, the Scirocco represents the best of Volkswagen. It's about clever engineering, timeless design, and a focus on driving pleasure. The Scirocco inspired other cars, from the Golf GTI to the modern hot hatchbacks we see today. Collectors love the Scirocco for its rarity and charm. Clean examples are becoming harder to find, and values are rising. But the real value is in the experience. Driving a Scirocco is about feeling connected to the road, and to a community of fans who share your passion. The Scirocco's story isn't just about the car, it's about the people who love it. That's what makes its legacy so powerful. The Volkswagen Scirocco may be gone from showrooms, but it's far from forgotten. Its bold design, fun driving experience, and loyal fanbase ensure that it will always have a place in car culture. The Scirocco is proof that cars can be more than just transportation. They can be art, adventure, and community. For anyone who's ever driven a Scirocco, the memories last. The sound of the engine, the feel of the steering, the way it looks in your driveway, all of it adds up to something special. The Scirocco inspires because it dares to be different. As the automotive world moves toward electric cars and autonomous driving, the Scirocco stands as a reminder of what makes driving fun. It's about connection, excitement, and a little bit of rebellion. So here's to the Scirocco, a car that's always been more than the sum of its parts. Its spirit lives on in every enthusiast, every club meet, and every road trip adventure.